welcome everybody back into another episode of the Fourth Down Podcast. Before we even get into anything, I just want to like preface it with I do got Invisalign in, so like if y'all hear a little lisp, right, that's what it is. I'm not like dying or nothing, but you know I'm back at it again with the normal guys, DeAndre, Dorian, Malik, right? How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
Chilling.
I feel like shit, but you know, it's cool.
Yeah, you know me
Summer's
too, bro.
moving.
My mouth feel crazy. Pause.
Point now, we at that point.
Oh, wow.
Let's just get into it. I ain't even finna
Start
talk
that.
Hey man, look, it's been a lot happening in sports lately. I guess I want to start with the finals. We saw that OKC won. I forgot what our predictions were. I think you had the Pacers.
I had Pacers in 6.
I had Pacers in 7.
But OKC won ultimately. What do you guys think? Y'all think it was a good finals? Y'all think what y'all think?
I think it was a good finals.
Good. I
It was
like
very competitive. A lot of young talent. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the level of intensity that they were playing with consistently, it was always there. And you know, everyone's criticism of it is just like it lacked star power.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't draw the eyes of the casual fan, more so the diehard hoop fans. But I mean that don't bother me. I just wanted to watch good hoops. I wish Hallie didn't get hurt so we could see, you know, how the game would have played out. But
That's kind of how I felt too. Considering, you know, my friend calls me a perpetual Halliburton hater. I said like I've said this on the show before. I don't like, even with people I don't like, I would rather see them play for me to hate them. And then him getting hurt in Game 7, it was like kind of dishonest because like I would have rather him played, even though they're like, oh, had some people like, don't you like not like him? Yeah, I don't like him, but I don't like him on the court. Like, if he's not on the court, I have no reason not to like him. And then they lost, so it's like I would have rather seen that Game 7 go forward with him on the court.
Yeah.
It's considering he got hurt 4 minutes into the game, and I was like, all right, cool. But like, OKC still won, so it's like,
Do you
That's
think
a hell of a line. That said, I need you to play so I can hate you.
yeah, no,
I like
exactly.
that though. I
I
like
hate
that.
watch.
no,
I hate
I
watch.
like that.
I hate watching.
like,
It be working. It be working,
I
bro.
like that.
And I don't.
I'm
wanna
not
see-
really a
I
hate
don't wanna
watcher
see these
though.
guys
but
I hate watching
hate
the Bills,
watching.
bro. All the time. Hate watching.
I mean, I don't really watch him, but I just hate Jason Tatum. So I see where you're coming from.
So do y'all feel like if Hallie finishes that game out, the Pacers win, or it didn't matter? Like, okay,
I don't know.
I can't say it didn't matter, but I can't say they would have won either.
Well,
I think it would have been a lot
Yeah,
closer.
because he was like he started off pretty hot.
Three straight
you
three.
started
Yeah.
off cool for real. Yeah, I ain't gonna say.
But-
Yeah, I agree with Dorian. Like, I can't go say that they was gonna win for sure, but it definitely would have been a huge help. It would have mattered.
Mhm.
Because they was getting dubbed by like 20 in like the third quarter. That
See, but
wouldn't have happened.
I thought they
But
kept
they've
it
also
close.
done that with Hallie on the court.
Yeah.
So they've all,
True.
you know what I
They
mean?
always play
Like,
from behind, yeah.
True.
So next season, what do you think the prediction is for both of these teams, like OKC and the Pacers?
I think OKC is still going to compete. They still, I think, the best team in the NBA right now. Even though I don't think it's like definitive that they will be the best team next season just because they won, right? Because I know that when we say these guys are in the championship, they're evidently the best teams in the NBA, but I don't believe the Pacers are one of those teams. Like, if the Pacers wanted to get a ring, they had to do it this year. I think it's already past them. Even though the East wide open, I just
Still
don't
is
think
wide
that. Yeah, I just don't think that they're that good that separate themselves from the pack. I think they had a good run, and they just ain't take advantage of it. So I would keep OKC in that contention, but I don't think the Pacers will be bad.
I ain't gonna lie, cause like talking to a couple guys at work about it. My feel about it, like going into the next season, and I don't know. I kind of want to see how y'all feel about it. It's like I feel like with the Thunder winning it just now and seeing the two teams we had in the finals now, and it kind of speaks to what you were saying as far as like it didn't have a lot of casual fans because there was no star power. I feel like just now going forward now, this kind of I like it better now because it shows that like there isn't gonna be no more like heavy favorite. I feel like we really don't know who could be a championship. You know what I mean? Who can be ended up winning it all at the end
And that
or be in the finals? You know what I mean? So I just feel like even like with the OKC, like I'm pretty sure going into this season, everybody said, you know, oh yeah, they'd be a number one seed. You know, probably definitely make a good deep run into the playoffs, but I don't think a lot of people had them for sure going all the way.
not at
Facts,
all.
yeah.
They said
You
it
know what I
was too young.
Exactly.
Experienced, yeah.
Exactly.
I feel
So I
like-
just feel like now it opens it up. Like I feel like there's a chance for anybody really.
And that's the main debate that you're hearing in NBA spaces now is, do we like a league where there is a dynasty or do we like a league where there's more parity? Do you like 7 different champions or do you like one giant that somebody got knocked off, right? Like, I mean, me personally, like I'm a hoops fan, but if the non-dynasty NBA looks like last year's finals, then I would prefer a dynasty team, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. I like maybe a little bit of mix of both.
See, I
If
feel
that
like
makes sense.
there's a tide changing in the NBA. For as like, of course, for like all my years of growing up, it's always been the same people. It's been LeBron, been Kobe, been Steph.
KD,
Those just high name people.
Don't put KD with them.
There's always been those high name people, and it was like, all right, so you know who's really gonna be nice this year. Oh, you know they're going to the finals. I feel like with all these young guys, and these young guys are hoopers, like straight. So it's like I feel like anybody could win if given the opportunity.
But that's the dilemma, right? It's like, do we like a situation where anyone could win, or do we like getting these situations where we know we getting LeBron versus Steph Game 7?
And
you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like seeing new faces because like I was saying before, like I didn't watch a lot of OKC games, so me watching them in the playoffs was really the first time I really got to like really keep my eyes on them and really analyze what was going on versus teams I'd seen before, like the Warriors. Like I know how they play, the Cavs, you know, like so seeing new faces, I feel like that's good, even though it might be like lower ratings or whatever. I personally enjoy it.
I mean, I just feel like it makes sense. Like, come on now, yo. The guys that we talking about that they want to see star power, y'all asking star power from guys that's damn near 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like they're on their way out the
pretty
door.
much over.
Like, yo, we have to get
shift.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have to get to the point now where we are seeing new teams, fresh faces, and people we've never seen before. Like it literally has to be like this.
But that's what I'm saying though. In that shift, right, in the NBA, where we're going towards more of a like, all right, you need, instead of just like these 2 or 3 guys and then a bunch of guys who can hit shots, you need like an 8-9 deep rotation to compete in the NBA. But like, at the same time, there's certain talent that is young that can take over that isn't, right? So like we just watched the the playoffs, but we just watched the finals, where the 2 main stars were Halliburton and Shea. Now if you consider Siakam a star, then I guess Siakam too. But the main stars who are young aren't even the ones competing, right? Like there was no Luka, there was no Ant, these are all the guys who's supposed to take that mantle for those 40-year-old guys. But they didn't. So like, would y'all be okay if they never do? Like, say these guys continuously just put up numbers and all these highlights. You know, Luka might win an MVP, couple scoring titles, but if we keep getting a bunch of just like good teams versus the stars, y'all fine with that?
Me personally, and I mean, maybe it doesn't. Like, I'm not the biggest Hooper fan, but like honestly, because I like new shit and the fresh faces and like different shit. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I personally hated watching the Cavs versus Warriors for like 3-4 years straight. That shit is annoying.
That's only because of the Warriors and they messed it up with Kevin Durant. If they would have just let that rivalry play out as is, right? Steph had one, Bron had one. Just let it play out. It would have went way better.
Like, I get it, but it's like at a certain point, what are we playing for? Like, what is the point? Like, I don't know. And I mean, I know this is this is just a real base way of looking at it, but it's like, if we starting the season off like, and everyone knowing like, all right, it's going to be Cavs Warriors when the end, who cares about what are we doing this for? Everybody's purely just here just to get paid now. And then now it's like, all right, well, it ain't nothing to do with the love for the game that real hoopers want to see. I'm just out here to get paid because we already know who's going to be in the dance at the end.
And that's how I feel. That's how I feel, to be honest. It's like, I would rather want to see these new teams because that means basketball is getting competitive again.
True.
A new team arising, facing these teams that are supposed to be there, you know, and they don't be there, and it be competitive, like straight basketball. And that's what I feel like we got this year. And it's like, of course, no big name stars. Of course, the ratings was down because everybody, their favorite players weren't there.
The reason why I say that I still lean towards having that dynastic team or having that one juggernaut team is because then, you know, like we all have this hope that like OKC is going to continuously be good, but there's more evidence that teams like that are flashes in the pans than they are consistently good, right? Like obviously good from the standpoint of winning championships.
Right.
Like they always going to be in the playoffs. They always going to be in the mix, at least Western Conference Finals. But like, I'm just saying, like, what's to say that OKC is not the Raptors, right? Where they had this one crazy year, they dominated the whole league. No one thought they would win. They won, and then it didn't happen again. Now, obviously, Kawhi left, so that's a big thing. But I'm just saying, like, while we do have this more competitive NBA, you're gonna get more flashes in the pans where these guys are gonna get rings, and when we have these debates about who's better, well, like we was talking about in the finals, right? They was like, I can't wait for Hallie to get a ring to say he's better than Chris Paul. With a ring, he still wouldn't have been better than me, right? So I'm just saying, like, we gonna get all these flash in the pan championships
in recent years
that don't necessarily lean towards, you know, longevity and legacy.
Can we not to cut you off?
No, you good.
Can we kind of like touch on ring culture a little bit because you just brought it up? Like, I think it's so crazy how one ring can just like change your legacy. You know what I mean? Like we was just saying, Hallie's not better than Chris Paul just because he has a ring. But like the casuals are gonna say that. But also conversely, if you don't ever win a ring, then you're gonna be looked at as a failure.
Kinda
Right, so
look at James Harden,
Joel Embiid, Russell Westbrook, right? Like,
He had it.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like
you could have added somebody that was over and done
I
with.
added Westbrook.
Carmelo, Charles
Man, like why was where was Melo?
I said Westbrook. I was going to keep going with the list. Y'all ain't let me finish.
Okay, all right.
But anyways, though, like,
But nah, I feel
where's like the middle ground? Like, because I know that you could like Charles Barkley. He's a Hall of Famer with no ring. But then you've got guys that like Danny Green has what 3-4 rings.
so that
He's not a Hall of Famer.
That was the whole point. That I don't know if y'all caught the clip that sparked this for everybody, but it was LeBron on his podcast, right? They basically called him, kind of phony for real, because they was like, "Yo, how you gonna sit there and say in your podcast that like rings aren't the end all be all when you literally have said in your post conferences after winning championships that is what stamped you as a GOAT, right?" But I think it was misconstrued. Like I think that people. What he's kind of say is there are people who didn't win rings who are better than the players who did. And that's like definitive. Like forget like, the accolades and stuff. I'm talking about when you watched him hoop on the court, you knew that Charles Barkley was better than this dude. Like just straight up, no hands down, but he never won. So that's what he was bringing up in my opinion. He was basically saying like, just because they never won don't mean that they weren't better than the guys who did.
I just feel like it's always going to be like a tough conversation because like it's a team sport. So what are you doing it for? It's to win a championship at the end of the day. But obviously when you trying to like, and it just gets into like when, how you want to look at it when having these conversations. Like I feel as though when you got to look at somebody's full body of work, like just because it's just one ring, it's like, okay, one ring and what else did they do? What else did they contribute to the team? What else did they contribute to the league? You know what I mean? Things like that. So it's like, me personally, I don't know. I've been known to like kind of put guys above guys that have rings that don't have rings because I just feel like they do more and they done more. So it's like it makes more sense for that guy to obviously be like, for example, obviously I'm not a big fan of him, Chris Paul, the Chris Paul and Halliburton thing. I obviously know that it's absurd to sit there and put Halliburton over Chris Paul just because if he would have got one ring. That's insane. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a team sport, so it's like the conversation's never gonna go away, but it's like it's just I don't know, man.
To me, I feel like the rings, like if you want to debate it, like if I would debate it, the ring would matter more depending on what that player did to get it. And I feel like though, and that comes with like them doing something, like them themselves, and like the hard work they put in for those rings. Like one of Steph's rings is like crazy high up for him because he did it by himself.
22.
Yeah, 22 did it by himself against one of the best team the best team in the NBA, which was the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like completely healthy too, and it was like.
Oof.
And it was like, that's more idolizing than somebody who's gotten 3 rings because he was on an amazing team. Like, I put that ring over all 3 of Steph.
And that's another thing, like, I don't know, and a lot of people who are anti-Bron are usually pro-Jordan, right? But even Jordan has come out and said, Bill Russell got 11 and I got 6. That don't mean he's better than me. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, how do we say it means everything and then the count don't mean everything? You know what I mean? So that's the point that he was getting at, was kind of more so like, all right, it's a team accomplishment. There are a lot of guys with championships, but who were you on that championship team? Like you said,
exactly.
What did you contribute to that championship? That way, like if I got 1 and you got 3, but you was the 3rd best player on your team and I was the best player on mine, I'm better than you.
Yeah. Like 35 and 10 a night, and
so that's why he was
10 and 15.
That's why he's saying ring culture is toxic, because it also kind of destroyed the product a little bit, right? When it comes to the NBA, when we got to the point where we said, all right, if you ain't win the championships, I literally don't care to watch you. Right? And so now we got superstars. You're like, yo, if it only matters in the playoffs, then I'm going to rest, right? I'm going to take these games. I'm not going to play serious every night, because you already have told me that if I win the championship, everything I did all year didn't matter. So ring culture has been toxic towards specifically basketball. Yeah. Because in football, ring culture only matters for quarterbacks. We don't judge receivers, linemen, D tackles. We don't judge them off of their championships.
We make excuses for him. Like if it's not a QB, like, oh, he had a bad QB or he had a bad team around him, bad coach, right? But NBA is a little different. I mean, I guess I do want to ask, like, who do y'all have coming out the East next year? Because it is wide open. There are so many injuries. Celtics, Pacers, Knicks. Who knows what they're gonna do? To try to get under the cap, right? So like, who do y'all?
I can't even think. who could come out of the East.
I mean, I think the favorite right now is the Cavs.
I
right?
guess
It gotta be the
Cavs-
Cavs.
Cavs
They the
are
only
Cavs.
one fully intact that was
Yeah.
good last
and he just
year.
picked up Lonzo. So.
But yeah, they
You could
just
say the
picked-
Magic, right?
I actually think Lonzo is. Don't kill me for this, but I do think he's an upgrade from
no,
DG.
I'm definitely not gonna.
All right, so no,
definitely not
it's
gonna
crazy.
because I fuck with Lonzo. Absolutely.
It's crazy because I was talking to people about it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, yo, DG is my boy, but I agree with you as well.
Yeah, it just
At
for
the point guard
for the,
position,
Yeah, for the
for sure.
consistency of just
Yeah,
having
the
a
production.
consistent offense and
Yeah.
having somebody that's just out there to set guys up.
Yeah.
Like if Darius Garland ain't gonna be out there getting me 9 assists, then he owed me at least 22 points.
Yeah, he
but
don't
there are
owe
so
me
many
that.
nights where he don't do either one.
Yeah.
Like you can't be the second best player averaging 15 and 6.
And I ain't.
Like, I'm
gonna
not saying that's what he averaged. I just threw that out there.
And
But
when Lonzo was on the court, he was producing in the playmaking game. Like,
See, but-
as far as like passing and setting his team up, he always knew how to get somebody.
he played better defense than DG.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Like,
think he how many games did he play that year? Like, cause
it wasn't a lot.
he wasn't on the court a whole lot. Like even
It
when he
probably
came
was like
back,
30.
he was
Probably
still
maybe
hurting
30
again.
max. Probably like 30
Less than
max.
half the season.
y'all think that's aside from the KD move, y'all think that's like the biggest or most impactful move for a team? I mean, you
in
got
the-
Desmond Bain.
In the short term, maybe.
Low key, that was yo. I don't know. It's funny you brought up the Magic too. I actually look at the Magic as like a team that can
Yeah,
make
they
some,
could be like that.
they can make some noise, yo. I'm not gonna lie. So
I mean,
I'm
if they-
not
that was
high
a
on
good move
them.
for them.
Yo, if the Pacers can go, the Magic can
Come
go.
on now.
bro.
Like,
I'm not high
I
on
do
the
believe
Magic.
that.
I don't know why I'm just not.
They got a good
They got
like
it. Yo, they
core
decent.
behind them. I believe.
Bro,
the
they just
Magic could do
upgraded from
something.
KCP to Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, I know, but like, is Bang gonna be what gets him
Paulo-
over the hump?
I mean, Paulo and Wagner, however you want to say his name, Wagner, whatever,
Wagner.
right? You know the dialect from wherever he from, but like they were already perennial like all-stars, right? They're not bona fide all-stars,
was
but
right
like they
outside
gonna
the
get.
door.
I get it. And then Jalen Suggs is
Yeah.
a great defender too, but I think he's hurt right now. But
Yeah, but
I get it. So we got the Cavs. You still have the Knicks, right? And you're gonna have the Magic.
I mean, for
kill
me-
me for this, but
What?
I'm gonna throw my boys out there in Charlotte, man.
no, come on.
Hey, yeah,
man.
get the hell out of here.
They need a lot. I'm
Putting them over the Sixers?
They
Charlotte?
still need a lot.
Rashad,
Real shit.
They actually might not be
Yes.
better than the Sixers, bro.
They're not.
come on,
They're not.
come on.
I'll take
Come
a
on.
maxi-led team by
Oh.
himself
Oh,
Bro,
with a shot.
The Hornets can't win
what do
nothing.
the Sixers have?
Maxey, McCain, Edgecombe, PG, Joel.
You just named a lot of niggas.
A lot of niggas that ain't doing
matter.
nothing.
Maxey and McCain are buckets.
McCain is.
We
a
don't
bucket.
know, and
I do
he
fuck
hurt.
with McCain. He's nice.
But okay,
When is he coming back?
The 2 months he played, he was a bucket. Yes or
When
no?
didn't- when
Rookie
is
of the
he-
year. He was gonna be rookie of the year. He was on pace.
Whoa, who won it?
I forgot who won.
I don't know who won it, but McCain. It was McCain's.
Guess maybe he would have.
After real.
But I mean, all right,
Should
I don't
be
know. Yo. I think I don't know. That was just my, y'all know how I feel about the Hornets.
I
They're
d-
my
I
guys.
I mean, I still got the Knicks though. Only
That's why I
because
said the Knicks. Yeah.
only because I'm a person that think. Don't get me wrong, they matter, but I think coaches coach and players play, and I think that the coach ain't the reason they lost. I don't know. Like I don't.
Real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't even know why they like. So you on the side of like you don't see why they got rid of Tibbs?
No,
I don't
For
either.
what?
Yeah, me too. Okay, when that happened, I was a little like, wow.
Well, because
Especially
they
next
just
year, I
doing
just ran
something.
it back.
They just
Yeah,
doing
like,
something to do
what
it,
the
bro.
fuck? Like, yo, look at where y'all was just at.
I
What the
think
hell?
literally
It
all
works,
Tibbs
bro.
need to do is use a bench. Like that's it. Like they don't even really need to change
quick,
it. They had
we don't-
guys on the bench.
We don't gotta get completely into it, but like I've heard a rumor that the
Mhm.
Knicks might try to talk to Don Staley about being a
I
head
saw
coach.
that.
I saw that.
I don't know. Like I would like it, but like we gotta get into it this episode. But like if it happens,
they don't even have a coach
I
yet?
think I like it.
No.
Nah.
No.
Well,
Dang.
apparently I just seen Mike Brown. He just got to the second level, and we already
Right,
know
yeah.
Mike Brown done been spent around in the NBA.
I don't like Mike.
He didn't coach LeBron. He didn't coach the Kings. He done
De'Aaron
been on the
Fox,
Lakers.
yeah.
He done been everywhere, bro. Oh, by the way, Stephon Castle is the rookie of the year from the Spurs.
Okay.
I don't know
I
why I
just
thought he
looked
was
it
a
up.
rookie 2 years ago, but
Yeah, that was wait.
No.
He's rookie of the
He
year.
was-
So they got the back-to-back rookie of the year. No, because yeah,
Wemby won his year.
Wemby was the year
2
before,
years
right?
ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why
Back
I
to
thought
back.
this was Wemby's first year.
I thought this was Castle's second year, bro.
Yo, that's what
Nah.
I'm saying. Like he was
Castle
not a
is
yo,
a-
he was
he's a-
not a
he's a
he
nice
Oh, I know he is a bucket. What happened?
was really a rookie. That's crazy.
Yeah, if they get, there's
Yeah,
rumors that
damn.
they trying to get Giannis. I mean,
Well, it's rumors. Well, it's rumors of everything out there. Like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that LeBron might lead the Lakers.
nah,
you know what I mean?
that rumor happens every offseason, bro.
Yeah, he's
Like, I
not
don't care how
going anywhere.
I don't care how everybody gets sucked into this thing.
Every
that
year,
LeBron's
bro.
going to get traded. LeBron was supposed to be a Golden State Warrior 2 off seasons in a row.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
true.
This is a Golden State.
It's
Warriors.
not
Like I don't.
Speaking of Golden State, let's clear this up.
Oh.
We're not getting no Utah star in this offseason. Let's be real. They've been talking about us getting Giannis, LeBron, somebody crazy. It's not happening. Our GM is ass now. He doesn't move a lot.
Wasting them stuff, yeah.
Yes,
boy.
he doesn't move a
You
lot.
don't have many left, bro.
Because they talk about something. We're high up on getting Giannis. It's not happening. We're talking to try to get LeBron. It's not happening.
Who would you even give up? Like what?
Everybody.
Kaminga.
Like,
There's no
bro,
one off limits but
I'm a
Steph.
This
good
point.
I'm a high Golden State fan. It's not happening. Then they don't want to give up their core. Draymond doesn't want to get traded. Nobody wants anybody to leave. And the only person that's really on the block is Kuminga. We're not getting anything for him.
But that whole Kaminga stuff is just crazy. Like he's asking for like a crazy contract, and then
Absolutely. This is what I'm talking
I
about.
mean, he played his way into it against the Rockets.
Like,
right?
yeah, I watched my team win for it, but like it's getting hard now. like it's getting real hard.
I mean, I blame for y'all situation. I blame Steve Kerr a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like if he don't like you as a player, like you just cooked all forever. Like you know what I mean? Like
That's what he did to Kuminga.
forget
Exactly.
about like even if you could be playing well, you know what I'm saying? Like with the minutes you get, you can be doing all that. If he don't believe, once he get his mindset on the kind of player you are, that's the kind of player you are. And I don't think you can coach like that.
in
Because
my
niggas
thing-
get better.
And it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
visually seen because in the Timberwolves series, right?
Mhm.
He played no minutes against the Timberwolves before Steph got hurt. Second game, his minutes went up, still didn't play that much.
Yeah.
The games we were close to winning, Kuminga played the most and had almost the most points, but yet we still lost. But that's because Kuminga didn't get into the game until the middle of the second quarter.
Yeah.
So like, why do you hate him? That was my thing. You
And
hated Kuminga for a long time.
The West about to be like 10 deep.
Exactly.
Like
Well,
I
I
couldn't
mean-
even tell you who coming out the West either.
Well-
But on a different side note, right? Because
Everybody's nice
the
in the
East
West.
is like depleted, so we
Nothing,
actually just
yeah.
don't know.
Everybody.
The West is like everyone's good, so it's like
I mean, now we're talking about the West. KD just went to the Rockets, right? Like, what do y'all love that move for the Rockets?
I do.
But what they gave up
Love-
Jalen
I
Green
actually
and
love-
Phoenix.
The only thing they needed was a bucket getter at the end of the game.
Yeah,
Right? They had a defensive team. Jalen Green was their bucket getter. They just couldn't.
Yeah, he
they
was-
couldn't
Like I hate and it's like
Anonymous, bro.
Jalen Green's my guy too. It's
I
like
fuck with
I
you,
hate
man.
to say it, but like
I do fuck with
they
you.
literally just upgraded. Like you
Yeah.
said, they just needed it. He was the bucket getter. Now you got KD.
My thing is though,
Come on
I
now.
think they still need a guard, but I guess they paid Fred VanVleet.
I mean, yeah, no, I,
I mean,
like,
Van Vliet can run the
cool.
offense. He cool.
Yeah,
he's
I
cool. He
I
can do
get it, but like you had chances to take steps to get probably somebody else good enough to play with KD too. Like, not saying Fred
Shit,
isn't gonna be
yo.
good enough to play with him, but like
Mm.
you I feel like
Fred.
you could have gotten somebody.
I mean, they
Like
like
that
their
for
young
guard.
guys.
I was gonna say,
so-
bro, you gotta look at the team around KD now. This
Fred, Tariq.
you gotta look around. I was gonna say something. crazy, but
Jabari.
You gotta look
Yeah,
at the team
man.
around KD now, yo. This is a good ass
Yeah.
team around him. Like
He does have
I
a
think
good
they're
team.
good.
Oh, man.
I
I,
do.
forgot about him, man.
I
That's what
do.
I'm saying. You
I
got
do think
Fred,
they
I
still
mean,
have
I
a
mean,
good
they
team.
were a
Jabari,
2 seed.
Sengun,
So
like,
they were a 2 seed last. They were a 2 seed last season, right? And like, I'm not gonna say they have to meet that same level of, because like I said, it's gonna be competitive. But I would be surprised if they're not a top 4 seed.
I was gonna say
should be
honestly,
a top 4
I
seed.
keep them still between 2 and
2 and
2
4.
to 4.
Bro,
2 to
one of the
5.
biggest
Like,
reasons they
yeah.
lost was because their main guy just could not score in the playoffs.
Just keep
Yeah, like
KD
like,
on
So
that's it.
inconsistent.
Bro, Jalen
Yeah,
Green,
literally.
bro,
Literally.
Jalen Green's 23, averaging 21 points, bro. He got to the Golden State series and averaged like 12 points. Like he just randomly disappeared.
That's
One thing
the
I
guy.
tell you,
It was less.
I can tell you, K,
was like
yeah, it
8.
probably was less than that. But I'm just saying, like KD,
Bro had one.
I'll tell you
game
one
went
thing.
Off, and I'm like, all right, maybe he got it. Then
Yeah.
just-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
KD, he might not give you the best defensive effort like he used to,
He's a
But
but he gonna give you the same.
he gonna give you them
points.
buckets.
If
He
he's
gonna
on
give
the
you
court.
same point.
If
yeah.
he's on the court, bro.
Come on
'cause
now.
He's been hurt a
like,
lot.
don't get me wrong.
lately.
These last 2 years, we can say that when
That's
it came
Phoenix
down
fault.
to the end of when it came down to the end of the season and being in the playoffs, KD gonna be there.
Yeah, for sure.
I
he's
just don't
done.
know what the future is for Phoenix. I saw that they were trying to get
Nah,
rid of
that's chop.
Jalen Green.
They're done.
They might move him to.
They just traded for Mark Williams, the same guy who the Lakers was like, yo, he has no knees. Like, why are you?
Ah,
I don't know what's going on in Phoenix, bro.
Like, they literally, you remember that trade, right? That they rescinded the Dalton Connect?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause he
Mark
failed the
Williams?
physical.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
failed the physical.
Yeah.
And then Phoenix just traded right for him again. Like, I don't know. Maybe he healed up in a
Dumb.
couple months. But
maybe they seen something in the last season.
the Phoenix is chopped. I don't know.
They got
I've been
like
out on
7
Phoenix.
guards.
I've been out on Phoenix for a while. Yeah, they got all guards. I mean, I don't know. I've been out on Phoenix for a while, though. But some people still holding out hope. Devin Booker fans, all that.
D Book gotta go, man.
Hey, I do want to ask, like, while we're still on NBA, the draft just passed last week. And I think the big talk was like the whole Ace Bailey thing and like how he was sliding, and then will he even report to Utah when he was get drafted? Because he said Utah was one of the teams he didn't want to get drafted to. Like, so what do y'all make? Do y'all see any similarities between this and Shador? Like, what do y'all think about
Real quick, I want to say, because I really just want to hear what y'all say, but I just want to reference like when we talked about like how the NBA doesn't give enough exposure to the young guys coming into the league. We talked about that episodes way back, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know who the hell that kid was until draft night.
Ace Bailey?
Yes.
Ace Bailey.
Oh, I knew who Ace Bailey was.
Yeah,
Ace
me too.
Bailey's a dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
for
a
real?
straight bucket. He's a dog.
All right, I'm not tapped in. All right,
No.
okay, so go because but I also did say like what was his own, because I just kept hearing how he's just being like arrogant about the whole thing. So like, what is his whole?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you got it.
well, I'll say I don't know a lot of the NBA draft, and I don't act like I do. I always know about 5 guys, and he's just one of them 5 guys.
Okay.
The NFL draft, I could probably go at least into round 3, knowing at least some players that are getting picked. But with that, like Ace Bailey, like I don't know, like his whole MO was kind of like he wanted to go somewhere where he can immediately have it's an image thing, right? Like he can immediately have that marketability. And Utah isn't the same. His places of destination that he wanted to go to were Brooklyn, the Wizards, and I'm forgetting one more.
I think it wasn't Charlotte, right? He didn't want to go to Charlotte.
I don't know. No, I just remember Brooklyn and the Wizards, and that's just from the standpoint of those markets, right? It's not because he knows that all these teams are bad, and he's a good player. He's gonna go to a bad
Did
team.
he turn down the workout with the
Sixers?
though?
Bro,
He turned down the workout for the Jets.
He wants to be the guy. He doesn't want to be the
So
third.
it's
or fourth
about the
option.
image, and he also is literally trying to make it his team off the rip.
Yeah.
He wants to be the guy.
But let's think about it.
But-
though.
I mean, Utah
him
might
being
be
on
the perfect
Utah,
fit.
who's there for him not to be the guy?
Well, it's not about
marketing?
that. Well, no.
yeah,
But
the
him,
market.
him
But
going,
he's
him
the
going to
guard.
Utah had nothing to do with the construction of the team. Him not wanting to go to Utah was not wanting to go to Utah. Like niggas do not want to go to Utah, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's just off that. Like
Yeah.
it didn't have nothing to do with like marketing is in the way of him getting shots. Like it was just he didn't like the area, but he ended up reporting anyway. I don't. My fault. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do you agree with that? Do you agree with the way he handled it? Canceling workouts, not working out with teams at all, then
No,
coming out and
I
saying,
don't think any.
No,
player should
bro,
do that at all.
because bro, don't get me wrong, I'm a player guy first, but like, bro, you going pro, bro. Like, you coming from a guy who once did take football very seriously and did want to go pro. It's like, yo, I don't care if I was born in the projects or born in a crazy mansion. It's still the same moment when you get your name called, and I'm one of them guys that's like, bro, go where you get picked, like. Make the best of it. A couple years. If you're nice, you can choose where you want to go. That's how it works in every league. There's no one nice in the NFL or NBA that don't pick where they want to play after a couple years. Right? So I'm just like, yo, just go hoop. That's how I look at it. But I don't think it's similar to Shador. I think a lot of Shador stuff is still kind of smoke and mirrors. We still don't know what happened. Like we just going off all these reports from the same people who
They
don't
didn't
like
put
him.
out, like,
So it's like,
Yeah, this was
official
like
notes
official.
of what happened. Like,
Huh?
They didn't put out like official things that happened. What happened with them either?
right?
It's
Like they was
we
like he
don't
was
know.
terrible on the whiteboard. Like how he was a D1 quarterback.
Everybody else has videos of this shit except for Shador.
And I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think he's just different because there is some animosity to it. I think Ace Bailey created that completely for himself.
him and his agent.
I think Shador
his
was
agent.
coming in, even if Shador did everything right. I think still just from the Dion stuff,
Yeah,
right?
he
He would have
already
still,
had that.
yeah. So
okay.
I think some of it was out of his control, even though part of it was right. Where Ace Bailey completely created that situation for himself.
Yeah, it was crazy how he did that too. I didn't agree with it, but of course,
And my boy,
people gonna be who they gonna be.
my boy DQ going to the Pelicans. Shout
I
out to
hate
Baltimore.
that, but
Okay,
yes.
yo, I actually like I like that.
He got traded from the Hawks to the
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I would have
like
rather
that.
him.
I kind of fuck with that.
Really?
I honestly would have rather him play with Trey Young.
Him, Trey
Nice
Young,
little lob
Porzingis.
threat, right?
That would have been cool because he'd had guard.
Oh,
with him.
Porzingis is there.
Yeah, Porzingis on the Heat. I mean, on the Hawks.
He's on the Hawks, bro.
Y'all really got like not saying like some serious, but like y'all think the Hawks really doing anything?
No.
All right, so then
I mean,
No.
as far as
Pelicans right
next
now.
year, maybe
Nah.
no, I think the Hawks are done.
the Hawks can't be. Trey Young's probably what the third best healthy point guard or some shit. Like I don't know who's
What does
all.
that say about the point guard situation?
That's what I'm
League
saying
right
though.
now?
They could take advantage of a bad situation. That's what I'm not saying they're gonna make a run, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if they in the playoffs.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
not?
So give
I
me,
mean, based on what you said as far as on how your pace is, yeah, you're right.
if you
But
had
nah.
to give me the top 5 teams in the East for next year, what would it be? Just top 5.
Cleveland, New York,
Cleveland and New York. Magic gonna be there. Magic gonna be
Magic,
there.
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacers with no Hallie.
Come on, bro. Y'all doing a whole bunch of dicking around, bro. I know y'all want to say it, bro. Y'all don't
No.
want to give it
No, bro.
No.
You trying to usher in some
Sixers?
No, bro. Like I see y'all thinking about it. I'm saying like there's not another team over them.
So they not done. Yes, I will still take the Celtics without Tatum over y'all. I will still do that.
I don't know if Jaylen Brown's going to be there still.
I'm just talking about as currently constructed right now.
Well, because Jaylen Brown might get moved.
All right.
Utah's aggressively pursuing him.
I mean, hey, maybe JB.
I mean, the Celtics aren't going to fall out the playoffs, so they're going to be in the playoffs. Like, they're not going to fall that far off. Just because hold on.
Too much dicking around.
If Tatum is that big of a difference for that Celtics team, we better start talking about Tatum in a way different light then.
Well, I mean, because Tatum's the guy, bro. Like
that boy JB better start booming his ass off.
Yeah, I'm not giving them no credit.
That's my point. They shouldn't fall off the map. They should drop to like a 5 seed. They should drop to like that.
Not the Heat, not the Hawks, not the Hornets.
I mean, we still gotta wait to see how like things pan out. There's still gonna be a lot more moves to be made.
I will make that
You know what I
decision
mean?
at the end of the offseason.
Yeah, like
free agency literally start tomorrow.
give us a week before the season start, or like 2 weeks.
But those are my definitive 3 teams, though. The Knicks, Cavs, and the Magic 100% are going to be
For sure.
fighting for the Eastern Conference
Doing
Finals.
too much dicking around.
They're like, yo, y'all don't like Paul George anymore?
I don't.
Don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
like you don't
I do
even
not.
like. Come on, yo.
Hey, but we got enough there. I really like all jokes aside, I really like our pick, VJ Edgecombe. I don't know how familiar y'all are with him.
He's nice.
Nah,
One of the
that.
best
He
defenders in the
is.
draft. Crazy athletic. Can bounce out the gym. He's been compared to either Matisse Thybulle or Ant. You know, because of like athleticism, right?
Wait.
Not
Why didn't you just start? Why didn't you just start and end with Ant comparison? Why did?
Well, because of the
Why did you have
defensive.
to throw Matisse
Thybulle and Ant are so far apart.
Polar opposites, brother. What the fuck are we talking about?
I will.
Now,
vouch-
I get what you're trying to say,
Bro,
but I was
because
like, yo,
those are his player comps, bro.
Those
Those are his player comps,
I'm
bro.
saying, like,
But like all jokes aside, though, like
man.
it's a good pick.
not
I feel like
gonna
he's a hard worker from what I've heard. So yeah, I like the pick for
I
us.
will vouch.
He comes to practice.
I will vouch for.
Ready to work.
I will vouch for Shad. VJ Edgecombe is nice as hell. He's one of them guys that I knew coming into the draft.
Mhm.
He is pretty decent, and I will give him that. It is a step up for the Sixers.
Thank you. Thank you. Any last?
I mean, I'm not saying he not. You said Matisse Thybulle.
all right, bro. Forget I said that, bro.
Bad omen on him
Forget I
already.
said that, bro.
If
Forget
I
I
know
said that.
him and you say his comp is Matisse Thybulle,
I'm already
like,
looking
yeah.
at.
All right.
I'm looking at him on the
I
lower
misspoke.
end. Like,
I misspoke, bro.
should have just started with Ant.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you guys want to talk about NBA wise that we didn't get to, or I feel like we should, or
bro, CJ McCollum to the Wizards, bro.
yeah, because
It's like,
that's
nah.
such a big move, bro.
Hey, Wizards
Wait,
got
nah.
some
Where
young
did Jordan
guys.
Poole just go?
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Yeah.
It was like a 1-for-1.
Nah, we can.
I mean, I do want to touch on the NFL briefly. We did get some really big news today that Jalen Ramsey went to the Steelers. I guess I want to ask you, as the Ravens fan, how do you feel about the AFC North? I know Minka went to the Dolphins, right? But now they've got Jonnu, they've got Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we already talked about Aaron Rodgers.
So
right?
I just like, I don't know if y'all gonna remember, but it was a few episodes back when like we were talking about the status of like the AFC North and the Steelers specifically, and I told y'all like it was more so in the end of like do we all think that Rodgers' play was gonna be better than what they got from Russell, and I was just kind of trying to get everybody to understand like, yo, the Steelers are not done, like in no way, shape, or form are the Steelers done, and like we cannot sleep on them, and here we are now, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Granted, is it a lot of veterans and a lot of guys that's probably on their way out? Yes. But it also just showed me and let me know, like, they really kind of probably trying to go all in for this year.
Yeah.
And they definitely can. I'm not going to lie to you.
So,
They can probably make some noise.
with that though, it's like, yeah, I guess they are kind of in a win now situation. They have a lot of guys that's on a 1 year. You got Slay, you just picked up Jalen, you got Rodgers coming in on a 1 year. DK,
Jonnu Smith.
Smith.
And then the guys they already had, TJ,
But,
Joey
like,
Porter, Deshaun, like, bro, they got
My thing though, right? Getting Jalen. Why couldn't you fight to keep Minka?
Yeah, I mean, that
like,
secondary would have been crazy.
It would have been outstanding if they was able to keep Minka.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. And I don't know nothing. Like, this ain't me trying to like insider. I don't know. Minka just it seemed like Minka was out there playing because like Minka gonna do his job and he gonna make sure he's the top safety in the league. But I don't think Minka really wanted to be with the Steelers. Like if we're just being honest, Minka, y'all gotta remember, Minka dipped from Miami because they were shit, and they literally turned around like 2-3 years later. No, dead ass. Minka left Miami when they were literally in the bottom of the league. This was before Tua. This was before McDaniel. This was before any thoughts of McDaniel or
right
Tua.
before
Like so, like when Minka dipped, like it was. Like, I'm not even saying he was like always trying to go back or whatever, but like I'm just like I just feel like it wasn't. Minka just played his time out in Pittsburgh.
For me, it played a little different. I didn't see the trade being that much of a needle mover. I already saw the Steelers. As one of those competitive teams that was going to bump you regardless, right? I just don't see him as a Super Bowl champ. But like, I don't know, like Jalen Ramsey, like I don't know, we Patriots fans. We watch Miami games. Like Jalen, this not the same Jalen Ramsey that y'all remember. Like this man, he played nickel. First of all, he played nickel all year for a reason. Because he was getting ate up on the outside. Like, he plays nickel because he needs to be with either slower receivers, smaller receivers, or tight ends. Like, that's who he's been guarding the past year or season and a half, right? Because he just don't have that twitch anymore. You know, when you get older, I don't know, I think he's like 32 now, maybe. Like, you lose your twitch. And you know, in my opinion, like, Minka's far better than Jalen Ramsey right now. So, like, I just don't think that I don't think it changes much for them. Now, Jonnu, he had a great year last year with Miami. I was watching that, but I also had Jonnu on my team. I understand the highs and lows that Jonnu comes with. He gonna go off one game and go miss in the next one.
Yep.
So like,
I don't know. I
mean, the way I see the whole Jalen thing, like, I don't know. I think it kind of hits a little bit the home. Like, I look at Marlon. When Marlon came into the team, he was obviously corner one. He was out there covering every top receiver that we were going against. Now Marlon's in the slot, revitalized. Like this nigga, Marlon is literally all pro Marlo again because of his slot in the playing out of the slot. Right. So, and I mean, I'm not saying like I don't know. I didn't watch Jalen like that, so I don't know if he was good in it or not. But it's like if he can revitalize his role and be good at that, the young guys that they got already on the outside, they will be fine. Like
he was good in the nickel role.
Like this is
like
cool
he was just hurt last year.
I'm saying he was good in the nickel role, but like if you put him on the outside with Tyreek Hill and send Tyreek Hill on the fly, he's getting cooked.
Yeah, but he don't. And that's what I'm saying. Where he is now, he don't never need to be on the outside.
I think Pittsburgh can scheme him like kind of how Miami did when he was in nickel. I think they can, because Pittsburgh's always had a good defense, and I feel like them adding this piece, I feel like they can scheme around him and make him look good. Like, I don't know, me personally, I didn't think the move was all that big because I always thought the Steelers' issues were on offense and not defense. Like, I thought their defense had carried them to the playoffs so many years, and I think their offense needed more attention.
Well, that's what Jonnu. I mean, I guess Jonnu's supposed to be some of that juice, and they you know,
but they had Arthur Smith moves, though. They still had a good.
But Arthur Smith, he likes to run a lot of double tight end. So I guess they're trying to find these situations where they can either run Jonnu and Fryer move together, or they can put Jonnu in the backfield as an H back or something like that, so you can get him in space without getting touched or getting bumped. Because we all know Jonnu cannot get off of no jam. Like you got to play him like a receiver,
bro. But they putting a whole lot of faith in Aaron Rodgers, and is it the same Aaron Rodgers we just saw play for the Jets, bro? Like, do they know something that we don't know?
I just feel like I don't know. And I mean, granted, obviously the quarterback's supposed to literally lead you to victory, but I genuinely don't think they're looking at Aaron Rodgers as like, all right, they just need him to not make too many mistakes, if that makes sense. I genuinely feel, yeah, pretty much. Like Aaron Rodgers literally just has to play this last year as a game manager. Nobody's looking for him to go out there and put no type of MVP numbers up or go out there and throw for 400 yards back to back games. He can. He probably still could. But I'm saying, like, it's just like as far as to speak on the expectations so that people can understand, like, I don't know. I mean, it may sound crazy, but like I said, I feel like the team around him can be good enough that way he don't need to go out there and be Superman.
Yeah, the Steelers, like I said, they're going to be mad competitive, bro. They're going to be right there. I mean, their ceiling, in my opinion, is the divisional round. That's their, like, the best case scenario for them is they losing in the divisional round of the playoffs. Like, that's my highest, like, level of ceiling I have for them. But I just, playing like that, like, we all know we in a quarterback league, bro. You got to make a play. And I'm not saying he can't, but that game manager stuff, it don't.
I don't know.
Like Brock Purdy got all the way there being a man. Don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy he's nice. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying his role for that team that went to the Super Bowl was to not make mistakes. And then they got to the one play where they said, "Yo, make the throw," and he couldn't make the throw.
And that's where Rodgers is a little bit better as a game management decision because he can do the things that most game managers can't do. He would make that throw. And I just feel like I'm not gonna lie, I was literally at the playoff game last year there watching the shit. I'm gonna just be so honest with you.
You talking about the Ravens Steelers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like literally, if they had number 8 on the other side and someone making some of them throws, that game would not have went the way that it went. Like, let's just be so honest. Like, I'm gonna be so honest.
I do
it would
think,
not have been pretty.
Bro, Russ is out there struggling.
I do think he got a little
Yeah.
bit more that it factor left than Russ does. But I don't think it's that crazy for our part.
Yeah, no, it's not like. And I don't
I think he's 1 or 2 more wins.
I just think I don't know, man. I didn't see anything from him with the Jets, bro. Like it was.
Well, the last 4 weeks of the season, he was kind of hooping. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was
He
balling.
put up numbers.
I mean, but still, bro. Like all the way up until then.
Nah, but that's because he don't come to
And
practice.
he was also knocking all the rust. Yeah, that too. A lot of this, and there's a lot of his own issue, like a lot of his own fault. Like he's not putting himself in the best.
He don't
position.
even know the playbook or his receivers and their releases until
Yeah.
week number 6.
I just feel like, as far as like the Steelers standpoint, of course, they're like you did say, like the league is evolving, and of course they're going to take into consideration how I said a couple of episodes ago with that whole new nickel defense that everybody's running because way more receivers on the field, way more guys that can go out catch a ball, right? Like a lot of running backs are more so catching balls out the backfield than taking handoffs. So it's like, of course, bringing Jalen in would boost the defense a lot. Considering he's a nickel back, he's nickel corner. So it's like, and they already got the young guys on the outside, especially, and then they got Slay, which is a vet, and then everything they already got. So I feel like it boosts them and it helps Rodgers on the offensive side because if they get turnovers, they can get stops. It puts him in better field position to where he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah,
The thing about playing nickel in the AFC North is you got to tackle.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And when
tackle.
when you an older corner, do you want to tackle? Because the nickel is that usually on everybody's team they try to say that a nickel is a either slow corner or undersized corner usually, right? But that also has to be usually outside of the stars or the lockdown dudes. That's probably your best tackler out of your corners, right? Obviously, your safeties are better tacklers than your corners are. But your nickel, your slot corner is your best tackle because he's the first one to the ball.
Like Marlon,
right? These guys,
their best tackle.
that's what I'm saying. These guys are flying down the field, the receivers, but like you're dealing with tight ends and slot gadget guys, right?
Marlon hit the gap so many times.
So when he see Derrick Henry come around the corner and he got to go head up with him, is he ready for that? That's what I'm saying.
Sorry to say something about the Eagles. That's why I love Cooper DeJean. He's one of our best.
big, yeah.
You got to be able to put your nose in there if you play in the slot.
Cooper DeJean. He always comes down, makes the right tackle. Like, look at what he did to Derrick Henry. Sorry,
that's
but
that's why for us, like we don't like outside. Marcus Jones plays there because he's small. But when we have the right guys that we want to play there, it's usually a safety. Why? Because we can depend on them to make a tackle. That's why Duggar or Jabril are usually our big nickels, right? We tend to run a lot of big nickel because we want a bona fide tackler, and Marcus Jones can't do that. He feisty though, but
he's just too small.
He's 5'9" and like 165, bro. Like
he good on returns, but tackling, nah, he be getting run over.
But that's why we usually run safeties at that spot because we like, we need a sure tackler there.
I guess to bring this all the way back around to the Steelers, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but do you think this makes them a playoff team, or you think before this they were already a playoff team?
They're still a playoff team. Six or 7 teams.
It was a playoff team without all the.
They sneak in every year. So
six or 7 seed, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Anything else NFL wise y'all feel like y'all want to address or touch on?
I mean, I'm just ready. I mean, training camp.
I need to see.
Training camp start in 2 weeks, man.
I'm excited for
the Hall of Fame games on the 31st. I don't know how it was earlier this year, but I ain't complaining.
Yeah, Hard Knocks.
I know.
Huh?
Anybody know who played the Hall of Fame game?
Who playing this year?
No, I don't.
I can look. Let me see. But I know Hard Knocks is gonna be the Bills. I don't know how that looks, but
so it's not y'all.
That's for in season.
Oh, okay.
Which is the worst
for the season, bro.
It's worse than the.
So since we're talking about football, did y'all see the? And I don't know if it was true or not. The Netflix is next season for the quarterback. Did you see that? Yo, apparently it's Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and
Kirk again.
Yeah, right. That's what Kirk in Atlanta now.
But Kirk didn't even really.
It was Kirk, Jared Goff, and who the fuck was the third?
Tua, Josh Allen, Burrow.
The Hall of Fame game is the Chargers Lions.
That's gonna be a decent first score.
Well, you gotta think about is whoever's getting who the inductees, but I don't know who the third one was, but Yeah, no, it just was like that's what made me. I was like, why is Kirk back?
Now you're talking about Netflix, bro. What's the NBA version of that?
Starting 5.
And with
Started five.
SGA and Halliburton, bro.
I'm not gonna.
that
This
real?
year's
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's about to come
real?
out.
That's
no,
gonna
that
be
was
crazy.
real.
I had to make
Theirs
sure.
This
'cause
year's
I didn't want to say
actually
anything
probably
about
be
it.
the best one ever.
That might
Yeah,
be the
because
best
they
one.
Finish it
played
with
in the finals.
Yo, and just to finish it with Shea, like actually like
Winning,
that's tough.
like that'd be
Bro, because he
insane.
said
Like, that'd
you
be
could hear him in the
insane.
clip saying something to a Netflix camera like, "Yeah, that's a wrap, Netflix," or something like that. Like he was on the court after the final saying something
That's
like,
crazy.
"It's a wrap,
That's gonna be
Netflix."
insane
That's
ending it
crazy.
like that in the starting 5. That's
Yeah.
I need
I'm
to see it.
excited for that
I
one.
have
And that
to see it.
episode, the
'Cause
episode
wasn't
where Hallie hurt herself, like
Yeah, that's gonna be
it's gonna be
crazy, too.
very like you know how
They probably
make
got
it
the
all
camera when they-
dramatic and like
They probably got the camera when they
Don't
went
they
to go
got
see him in the
James
locker
Harden
room
in
and
it, too?
everything.
yeah with the towel over your head.
Is
Oh,
I
James
think James
Harden
Harden
on
is
it
in it.
too?
Yeah.
Is Hallie, SGA, James Harden,
Tatum?
no,
No, 'cause
I
they
don't
just-
think
No,
it's
Tatum's not.
He was on
He
the
was
other
in
one.
last year.
Yeah, it's not Ant, not Luca, it's not Brunson,
Hold on.
Bruh,
Mitchell.
that's gonna be insane. Cause I
Yeah,
seen
no,
it,
that's
but I
gonna be
didn't think
crazy.
I'm like, is that real? That's why I didn't want to say anything about it.
That one was real.
Like, cause I'd never seen like an official post for it. So I was like,
Now I need to figure this out.
That's what I was looking at. The starting 5.
when does it come
But
out?
All
another-
right, it is. No, this is last year. Hold on.
Yeah, let me look. I mean,
It is Jaylen Brown, KD, Shea, Halliburton, and Harden.
KD.
Yeah.
I think
oh,
that might. I
he
think
was
that's
right.
gonna be really good.
It's Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Joe Burrow.
I mean, I'm
That's
not
also
mad at
weak.
Joe Burrow, but
Jared
I
Goff.
do want to.
Does he have a personality?
Yes, actually,
For the
Jared,
camera?
Jared Goff is actually hilarious.
I take
Like,
Jared
Jared
Goff over
Goff
Kirk
is-
Cousins.
Jared
again.
Goff is actually
He's insane.
hilarious.
Kirk Cousins got benched. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I
towards.
mean, he was not.
Like, well, so one of the clips, he was on there and he was talking. They were talking about how Tom Brady was praising his game and whatnot, and he was like, Tom Brady was like, I would love to be in this Lions offense, and they cut to Jared Goff, and he was like, all right, well, thanks, Tom, but you're retired. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
So this is Jared Goff, everybody.
hey, are we forgetting the whole reason why he's in Detroit?
he wasn't good enough.
And why wasn't he good enough?
I mean, well,
Because we embarrassed that ass in
Oh,
that Super Bowl.
Yes, yeah, but
That
breaking
man was
news, though.
seeing stars out there.
did you see the NBA shit just now? I
No.
saw you looking at your phone. Jaren Jackson just got the max contract.
From Memphis?
Yes.
Boo. I want
5
movement.
years, 5 years, 240 max.
We need.
I wanted
more
movement.
Yeah, I
And
ain't
then
gonna
also-
lie.
shout out to them, I guess.
Dorian Finney-Smith signed with the Rockets.
Well, I knew he wasn't staying with the Lakers.
They said, what's her name, put out bad press that his ankle was blown up or something like that. What's his name, Pelinka? They say he was putting
Damn.
stuff out there like his injuries aren't good or
Real
something.
world. That's
Yeah.
Well, now that you circle it back to injuries, I know Adam Silver was saying he was going to do like some research to kind of cut down on like Achilles injuries specifically in the NBA. Do you think maybe a shorter season would help with that, or maybe less back-to-backs, or like what do y'all think would help fix that?
better training.
I think I'm the opposite. I say less training. I feel like we live in a world now where like these athletes are like doing stuff year round.
Yeah.
Like you need to sit down, bro. Like
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like some of these athletes don't train all of their muscles correctly, and that's why you see some of them go down. So, some of them with the same injury, and like they mostly don't come back. Like I feel like they just don't. They don't focus on their important muscles that causes them to be able to do these crazy athletic things, like the Achilles. Like we've always seen a crazy Achilles injury for some like throughout the years, and it's like y'all have to train this.
Well,
This is something that y'all have to focus on.
If you remember, Hallie's injury started as a calf injury,
Yeah,
and he kept playing
they
through it.
graduated.
that's like
and
I
it turned
said.
into it, yeah.
I felt like Hallie should have sat.
Yeah, no, now that right there, I feel like
I'm not
that's a
sitting in
special
game
case.
7, bro.
And I
Six.
know, but it's like,
Could have sat game 6.
I mean,
We might not have got
They
there.
would've lost. They probably
Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
Second.
I don't think that the solution to the situation was Hallie sitting. I think it's just that, like, I feel like I said, I just feel like guys are training way too much. Like, I feel like every time you cut on something, like I almost feel as though your training isn't even really training. It's kind of like your image now, right? Where like, all right, they know I'm a pro athlete, I'm a star player, I have to put out workout videos, right? Like, and I'm saying like
like Jason Tatum.
I feel like yo, like
who cares?
I feel like you could take a month off. Like don't go crazy, right? Drinking and all crazy stuff like that. Still take care of your body, your diet, and all of that. But
Minimal training.
yeah, I don't.
With your rest.
Bro, just get on the treadmill and keep your stamina up. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta be in training the day after the season. And like that's one thing that LeBron had talked about on his podcast. He was just like, "Yo, one thing about my training is I rest my body. I spend a lot of I spend a lot of time resting.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not when I do go hard, I'm balls to the wall. But when I'm not, it's rest. And I feel like a lot of the younger guys, they don't have rest because their bodies don't feel it yet. And then something pops like Achilles. So
Well, they also have like a super short off season, right? Like, because we already talking about summer league now, and the finals was just 2 weeks ago, right? Like,
Then that mid-September, it's like they already back in training.
yeah, they could shave it from 82 to like 58, like how the lockout was, or was it 68? No, it was 58, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, but because they started on Halloween,
For the lockout?
I think so, or I forget, but they started later than usual.
Yeah,
Some people were saying they should start on Christmas. That's what some people were saying.
start the season on Christmas?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So they would go from
Christmas
May
to June.
From December to June. I don't know.
That's a long layoff though, but
I ain't really that into basketball to really. I watch it when I see it. It's cool.
I guess the last topic I want to bring up, Pusha T's dropping an album, right? And there have been like clips coming out of him dissing certain people, specifically Travis Scott. And there was a clip where he said he's calling Travis a weirdo, and then in one of his songs he was really like going in on him, and it all stems from his song, Travis Scott's song "Meltdown" with Drake. Travis went to the studio with Push and Pharrell, and he played the verse for him, but he didn't play Drake's verse. So when the song came out, and he heard Drake's verse, he started calling Travis a weirdo because Drake was dissing Pharrell. So Leak, I guess I want to start with you. Like, what do you think about it? Me personally, I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah, I agree with you too. It's really not that big of a deal. It just, I don't know, my thing. So one thing, when Travis played that for them in Paris, Drake's verse hadn't been on there yet.
Right.
Drake didn't even record a verse yet. So there was like, it wasn't like he was hiding anything from them. So like Push gotta take that way off of it. Like he wasn't hiding Drake's verse from him or anything like that. It is still weird that he allowed him to get on there and talk crazy about his mans, but that is what it is. One thing that I was telling DeAndre, and it's like, I ain't gonna lie, you kinda gotta just look at it from like, and it don't excuse it, but like it just puts context into it. Look at the two worlds that they're from. Now, I'm not about to sit here and try to put like to break down or try to say whether or not Pusha T really is from that lifestyle that he proclaimed all these years, drug dealing and all that. But he is from the streets, so let's just say that Pusha T is the street dude. Look at Travis Scott and look at the type of guy that Travis Scott is. The way that I describe it, and this is not a literal, but the way that I describe it is just like, you see a bunch of white kids, white boys hanging around a frat house or whatever, and it's like that one black guy that's like just cool as shit with everybody, and he's always just going crazy, partying, raging. That's Travis Scott. These guys are two complete opposite worlds. So like when I was hearing like Pusha go on about him, and it's like he's going on about his character and like how he does things, and like, oh, you egging on things with like when you on the stage with Future and Metro talking about play the like that, when it's them dissing your man's Drake that's supposed to be your boy. It's like, I get it, and the way I see it is like Pusha T just like, look at the world he's from. He just holds those relationships and the friendships and those bonds real like, and I mean, and that's nothing wrong with that. I get that, but Travis Scott is like, he don't care. He just wants to rage. He just wants to have fun. He just wants to make great music, like, you know what I mean. And the one thing that killed me about the interviews where he was talking about him is like, he's like, oh, this is rap. Stay out of rap beef. You don't rap, and I'm just like. I'm like, all right, Push.
Well,
You just sound
that's an old way to look.
You sound like somebody from the
old
'90s, dude. Like, just calm down. Like, bro, it's not that serious. So it's like, it's just, it is weird. But I ain't gonna lie. Like, last thing is like, it's a lot of things that go into it. Did you know about how like this album was actually supposed to be released a couple years ago under Def Jam, but there's a record on there with Kendrick Lamar on there, and Def Jam wanted Pusha T to have Kendrick change the verse. He told them no, he's not doing that. So then they said, okay, get rid of the verse, get rid of the song. He said, no, I'm not doing that. So they said, okay, the album's not coming out. And it wasn't until he was able to buy himself out of Def Jam, sign with Roc Nation, and now he can now drop this album unedited fully. So it's like the timing is weird because it's like, well, why didn't you address any of these issues with Travis before? But it's like, I guess he just wanted to wait until the music came out. It's just weird though. I don't know.
For me though, I just don't understand it because I feel like it could have been resolved a long time ago.
It could
addressed a long time ago. Because like for me, Travis Scott, I compare him to because I fuck with Cudi. I compared Travis Scott prime to Cudi's prime in the mid 2000s. It's like Rager. He's just want to be hype, want to be on stage, want to do all these things, and you know, of course, like the white frat black dude, of course. And I'm like, I don't see this beef even being like serious because it's like, Push, you're not, you're just that street guy that raps about this shit. Travis doesn't really give a fuck.
He doesn't even claim
Like-
it.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, I don't even look at this as beef. It's just like, yo, like Travis Scott's personality just doesn't mesh with a guy like Pusha T. That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And you gotta look at how Travis Scott is like. He talking about he comes in and he's just all doing all this rage and shit, and he's doing all weird and he's being loud and obnoxious. And I'm like, dude, the type of person Travis Scott is honestly probably wouldn't mesh with any majority of the most regular people in the world. Like it takes a like I'm gonna just be real. I probably could only handle like a couple hours hanging with Travis Scott. If that,
Yeah, all that yelling and
I
screaming,
fuck
bro.
with
not
like,
for
bro,
me,
like,
bro.
don't get me wrong, like, it'd be cool to hang with bro, but it's like, all right, after like a 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm like, all right, dude, you might,
Why you still jumping around? Why you?
yeah, like,
why
yo,
is your shirt
how,
off?
how are you still going this like this?
You know?
Like, so it's just like, yo,
sweating in a
it just-
full room.
it just was coming off like, yes, okay, is Pusha T standing up for his man's Pharrell? Yes, but then also it's like he was just kind of getting a little personal, where it's like you just don't like the guy. Like
It didn't have to be that.
That's
deep. He could-
okay,
He could
like,
just
used
left
to be-
it at.
you don't
him
like
being
him, that's
weird,
fine.
like-
Though that's the thing. They used to be cool. Like,
also
mad
called-
cool.
And in that interview, he called him a whore twice, and that's where it's like, this is where it's like, all right, now you just like pushing. Why are you doing all this? Like,
So it can be relevant.
thank you. And that and that's where the side of it that I kind of that's my take a little bit on this. Like,
Niggas don't follow Pusha T, and niggas don't listen to him either.
thank you, thank you. Like, yo,
Couldn't even name five.
Pusha
songs,
T,
bro.
like,
I can't
thank
name
you.
five
Like,
songs.
and it's like I didn't want
He
to
said
be like
that
that
in
about it, but it's like, bro, nobody
Is
gives
that
a
crazy
fuck.
to say?
Nobody gives a
No.
fuck about Pusha T.
I'm not
dog.
gonna say it's crazy, but somebody might.
I actually can't name 5 Pusha T songs. So,
All I can name is grinding. And that's because of his brother.
but that just might be me. I
Pharrell.
don't know.
That's basically like Pharrell's song. No.
Oh, grinding.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man, look.
Like yeah, push, but like that's still Pharrell shit.
And then like just to add back, so it's like none of this shit is serious because like take it to 2013. Literally, y'all was all signed under good music, making music together. And if you're being for real, Pusha T referenced the fact that like he dealt with the same kind of like phony fakeness with Kanye. So it's like you cool with it from Kanye because you just kind of let Kanye do his own thing and just let him be, and you've never addressed him
I thought
because
he
that's been
said
your
something about
that was your
Kanye.
boss. He probably did, but it's like he never went like this. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
your
yeah,
boss.
yeah.
Like did anyone ever? I'm sure I know you did, but the song is called "So Be It" that came out where he's dissing him, and like on the song, towards the end of the song, he's actually saying like, "Oh," he was like, "I got the video, I can A&E it. You lucky I didn't TMZ it. I can't unsee it or something like that." And it was like, "You lucky I didn't TMZ it." Pretty much alluding to the fact that like he's got a video that would pretty much embarrass the shit out of Travis, and people are speculating it's either one a video of Kylie fucking somebody or it's something being done to Travis like embarrassing.
Mm.
So it's like, but then it's like now everybody's like, well, nigga, you got the video. Where's the video? Like, why? You? So it's like, yo,
Cap.
it just
So they
comes off
bluffing.
as like Pusha
Cap.
T is now like you now become one of the niggas that you always hated in the industry. Your album about to come out, and now you need some promo, bro. Like,
What,
and then it's so crazy. Why go after Travis after the documentary Astro World just came out?
Mhm.
Like, it's so many things that go. Like,
And
it's
Jack Boys just
I can't take it serious. And that's another thing. The rumor now after all this happened,
Yeah, Jack Boy too.
apparently, and this is just a rumor, but apparently Travis is going to drop Jack Boy 2 on July 11th, and that's the same day they're dropping their album.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they say, bro? You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
become a
I'm gonna
villain.
be real.
Yeah,
Let's just be real here. Let's be all transparent. I did not know Pusha T was even dropping music soon.
Me neither.
no one,
Like,
or no one
Not
Never
until this.
heard until
Not until
this.
this.
Everybody,
So it's
I'm
like,
saying,
what the fuck?
I bumped Travis Scott. I do not bump Pusha.
This is
Abs-
Pusha T is
absolutely.
not in the rotation.
Am I gonna listen to it?
Yeah, probably not. But I think that'll do it for another episode of the Fourth Down Podcast. Great conversation. Thanks for being my friend. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Is there?
Peace.
Deuces.